that you have. I'm going to move on to the Evaluate tab. Now, the Evaluate tab is after you're done editing or even in the middle of the process, if you want to select a number of these statistics that may or may not show up in the statistics bar and generate a report that you can quickly glance through and see different statistics by district as well as totals, you can do that here. So this is a reporting tool. I can select all of the population information that I have available. I can select majority minority district population, party-controlled districts, these kinds of things. And I can select as many or as few as I want. And then I say create and preview report. This report takes a couple minutes to generate, so I'm not going to take the time to do that here. But when that report is fully generated, it shows up in this window, and you can scroll through it. Now, we actually hosted a competition in one other state so far, and that was Virginia, and it was just for college students, so it wasn't open to the public, just among college teams. They found this tool. We got a lot of good feedback on this tool. They found it very useful to kind of have a one-stop shop for all of their statistics, be able to quickly gauge where they fell in these different statistics, rather than going back and forth on the map. So this will come in handy probably as you get further along in your editing. Fourth step is the Share tab. There are a number of options for sharing your plan. You can share your plan with the general public or with other users, actually. If you are working on a plan and you think you're onto something really good and you aren't quite ready to share it with people, you'd like to complete it. If you don't share it, it will only be visible to you. If you do in fact share it, it will show up in the Shared tab that we were looking at in the Step 1 plan. So it will show up here in Shared. These are state-level plans that I've shared with everybody else. So you can see all of them are by this author, which is me, the tester. It says when I last edited them, but this gets very long when people start sharing plans. And you're kind of operating in a vacuum when you just see the list, but you can, if somebody else recommends this, say blogs about it or post it on their Facebook account saying this is the plan that I've drawn. I would love other people to take a look at it. Each plan has a unique URL, and you can post that, and then other people can go in and open that, or you can tell people what the plan's name is, and they can click on it here and access it that way, and then copy it and save it to their own file or to their own account so that they can then start from your template that you've created for them. So that's that. I can name my plan, save it, and share it. It will show up there. I can also request a file. This is kind of the final piece that I want to go over about sharing plans. This is a good way to share plans if you don't want to post them to the general share using the save and share feature. Requesting a file basically generates a file of all of the unique block IDs in the entire state and a corresponding district that you've assigned them to. It's a very simple file. It's a CSV file that's zipped. In fact, you don't even ever have to open it. If you are sharing it with somebody else, all you do is you say request file. It will start generating it, and again, it takes a couple minutes to generate that file and zip it up. It will then be available on the Plan tab. It will be available here. There will be a button that says you can download that plan, and you will be able to send it to somebody else, and they can upload it. Now, the place that you upload is on this plan chooser here under Upload Plan. You send it to somebody, they save it to their desktop or to a file, and you can browse for it. It's a zip file, and you'll know the name of it. You browse for it. You click the browse. It will take you to your file system. You get that file. You select the legislative body it belongs to, so whether it's state or congressional plan, and then you enter your email address here. You name your plan, and then you say start drawing. It actually is start saving, and you will be emailed when that plan has finished uploading. Now, these plans are fairly complex, and so it takes quite a bit of time in some cases to upload the plan. It can take anywhere from a couple minutes to half an hour. So it won't necessarily be instantaneous, but it will be available to you pretty shortly. And you will then, when it says it's uploaded, you'll go to your Plans tab, and it should be there with the name that you gave it when you saved it. For those of you who are a little bit, who might be tech geeks and enjoy using GIS software or other mapping software, these plans can be used to generate shapefiles as well. So if you have a shapefile of the state or a map file, you can use these to generate a district map outside of the software. But that's pretty complex. That's for all you geeks out there. So it is a good way, though, to share amongst yourselves without sharing to the general public. The last, actually, before I launch into the last step, which is the leaderboard, I'm going to ask again if there are any questions at this point.
We got another question. Can we add other information? For example, can we add the addresses of our legislators?
Not at the moment. There is no place to enter addresses of legislators, and I know that's obviously of great interest to people. That's actually something that is on our development docket, so it's something that will be coming down the road, but it's not available right now. We did incorporate a base layer map so that you can gauge where they are. Now that's not nearly as automated, but you can gauge where that address is on the map if you are interested in knowing whether that legislator is in their district or not. Anything else?
That's all I see right now.
Let me answer this other. I saw Abby. Well, I'm sorry to jump
in.
Sure. I'm a little quiet here, but somebody asked, does this program show the balance of Dems, Republicans, Independents, Party non-designates in precincts? We seem to have lost our map here.
It'll come back in 1 second.
Okay. Let me give you the answer. This is what's going on. We were starting to look at getting that breakdown of Democrats, Republicans, and Independents per precinct. There's a problem in doing that in terms of trying to use that information to decide if a precinct breaks one way or another. And that is, you can get all that information, and we may try and put that in later, at least for comparative purposes. But if you have that, the question arises, are you counting active voters, or do you also include inactive voters? You have so many people who move in Arizona so often. What happens if you add inactive voters, especially in the last few years when folks have lost their residence and moved a lot because of foreclosures? Are we going to find ourselves counting people who are not there? What we've done is a measure that Dr. Mike McDonald, who was one of the originators of this, a measure that he uses that is a measure of performance based, and we're going to be breaking that down by precinct. That is, it's an average of how a precinct performed in previous statewide elections, in an average of performance for various races. So we took governor, secretary of state, attorney general, and it was either education or mine inspector. I can't remember exactly which ones. Averaged those out, and we're going to try and improve that measure. Here's the problem, and a bit of a pitch as well. Anytime we add information, we have to freeze the system. We have to get in there and add it, and that costs money and costs time. So we probably will want to improve these measures as we go along, but we're going to have to raise money to do it, and we're going to have to send out notices and freeze the system for a few hours until we get that stuff up there. So bear with us, and we'll be doing this the best that we can.